Hey public health baddies, it's your fave, Jess MPH, talking to you about the 5 things I wish I knew about public health before I got into it. So let's hop right into it. So thing number 1 I wish I knew about public health before I got into it was the career that I actually wanted to get into. Once upon a time, in one of my past lives, when I went to Tennessee State, I originally wanted to go for nursing, but I ended up having to pivot just because the school having like some issues going on or whatever with the accreditation of the program.
The ghetto.
And my counselor was like, oh, you actually have credits that align with public health. Maybe you should look into that. I found out that I was actually pretty good at it. But the thing is, public health is such a large umbrella. Like, it has so many careers in it. So it's something that you really need to think about in regards to what you want to narrow your career down to. Thing number 2, the salary transparency, okay? If somebody ever told you that if you are in public health, you in it for the love of the game, they were not playing.
I love the game. I love the hustle.
The thing about public health careers is that there are a lot of careers that can put you in a very comfortable spot in terms of salary. However, those careers are usually with the help of advanced degrees or just experience of years and years and years of doing hands-on work. But my view on all jobs, regardless of if you're in public health or not, you got to start from the bottom anyway. I think it would be really good to have a good mix, right? Majority of the jobs before you get into mid to high level range, you have to have a bachelor's degree. However, there are some very good public health entry-level jobs that you can get into even before you decide to get a bachelor's degree or even a master's degree. And if we're looking at my history and my experience, my kind of like first public health job was working at a nonprofit. And this is a complete side note. 2 nonprofits. As much as I love the work that y'all do in communities, as much as I acknowledge the fact that y'all do great work, amazing work, substantial work, what y'all need to stop doing is trying to align yourself, your values, and your morals and your practices with corporate spaces. Because at the end of the day, using those corporate models as a guide for how you treat your workers and even how you pay them is making them work for unlivable wages.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Abiding by unrealistic practices. So please, from the bottom of my heart and my soul, stop that shit. Let's move on. Even if we're looking at the job that I have now, right? The salary that I have, I'm not happy with, but it's not necessarily due to the fact that the corporation that I work with, right? They aren't always equipped to be able to handle people who might have the will, the urge, the desire to go and get a higher level, more advanced degree. So with that being said, I just have to look a little bit harder, look at different jobs, look at different salaries that align with what my education level is, in addition to my experience. Let's not discredit that. Third thing I wish I knew about public health before I got into it. Certifications and licensures are your besties. Okay, besties. Story time. But when I was in my graduate program, I talked to my professor and she was like, hey, a lot of our grad school work aligned with the CHES exam. What is the CHES exam? The CHES exam is the Certified Health Education Specialist exam. It basically shows all of the competencies that you would need to market yourself as being a health education professional or just public health professional in general. It makes your resume look better. So that's one of the certifications or the licensures that I think would be most helpful in the public health realm that currently I don't really hold right now just because of financial reasons. But if you are a grad student, they actually have resources on the NCHEC website where you can get a discount for that test. So if you're in school and you're trying to look at that, make sure you look into that. It makes you more marketable. It makes you a lot more of a well-rounded individual, and it gives you the opportunity to have like a certificate or a licensure, one of which that can actually allow you to have a more higher level job. It makes you to stand in positions to have more higher level experiences in jobs, and it allows you to have a higher paying salary, which is what reason 2 things that you needed to know about public health in general. And sometimes even with those certifications and licensures, it's just another word or another acronym to add on the back of your name that says a lot without you having to say too much about yourself. Like Jess MPH, you know, I got a master's degree in public health. I don't gotta say too much, right?
Like, he just always in his own world. He really quiet for real unless he know you.
you know I did the work. You know I did the blood, sweat, and tears to be able to get that, okay? With the chest exam, just the same thing. With the PhD, same thing as well, etc., etc. The fourth thing that I wish I knew before I got into public health was how rewarding it is to actually do it. One of the main things that I love about public health is the fact that it deals with the public. Coming from a person who was a lot more shy and reserved growing up, me forcing myself to actually be in a community space, being around the collective, forcing myself to go out in communities, neighborhoods, communicating with people, doing all of these initiatives, trying to help my community as a whole, it allowed me to come out of my shell, but it also allowed me to rely on the people within the communities that I grew up in. And with those experiences, it allowed me to have a sense of camaraderie and a deepening sense of compassion and empathy for the people who might be going through different situations that I might not be able to necessarily relate to, but I can help out with. And in some cases, it actually allows you to connect with people who are in the same space as you. It allowed me to be more strengthened within myself because I saw myself in other people within the communities that I was working in, loving in, growing in, all of that stuff. With more community means more connections. The more that you connect with people, the more you can put your name out there to be able to get jobs. Even outside of just LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor, you can talk to somebody face to face, give the elevator pitch, and they probably have a job waiting for you that they didn't even know was going to go to you just because of the fact that you talked to them. But that's the beauty of public health. Look into it, y'all. And last but not least, not to end on this note, but let's get messy, y'all, because I know y'all like getting messy.
It's not a good day, okay? Not
Just shaking the table.
Anyway, the fifth thing I wish I knew about public health was the fact that a lot of people in the field itself are kind of miseducated in a lot of ways. Let's find our words nicely.
I'm finding it.
The thing about public health, right? It is always ever changing. It's evolving. It's growing all the time. Different initiatives happen to help different generations of people to be able to accommodate the new influences and the new thought processes that people have. However, it is very, very hard to do that if people within the field themselves are closed-minded. With our government right now, a lot of old white men are controlling a lot of things in relation to public health. How is that going to help me as a Black gay woman in an urban community, right? It's not. They're not coming from the scope of, oh, I am trying to help out all communities. I'm trying to be open-minded. They're just trying to make money. But the thing about public health is that it's basically Teflon, right? People in public health, the professionals, everyone in the sort, essentially serve as test dummies. We come up with the new ideas. We're the innovators. We are the fire starters.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
When it comes to all of the things that we need to do to be able to implement it into the communities and let people know how to do things. But before it gets to them, it has to go through us. And if we are constantly stuck with people who are not willing to grow, are not willing to develop, not trying to innovate, and they want to stay in their own ways, then we need more people in this field to come in and be the superheroes, okay? One blank period. I think I'm a superhero. Call me delusional if you want to, right? I am a superhero.
I might be a little delusional.
I am trying to go into my communities, educate people, and make sure that they know things that maybe they don't have the access to be able to know. It could be because of their communities. It could be because of their circumstances. It could be because of where they were born, the skin that they have, whatever. I'm here to help you out. Some people in public health do not have that, but that's why it's so important for the new generation coming in. I want y'all to take this from me, Justin PH. I want y'all to take this as a charge to be superheroes in your world. That little bit of creativity that you feel like you may have lost in elementary school, middle school, the spirit that you feel like got killed in high school because they were just doing standardized testing. I want you to be the superhero that you knew that you could be in kindergarten, middle school, elementary school right now. If you can go into public health and figure out something that you want to do that makes you feel a sense of fulfillment, do that. Everything is public health. And I'll definitely make a video talking about how everything is truly public health because I can go on a tangent on this for days, okay? All I'm saying is don't let the world stop you from being the superhero that you know you can be. There are some people in public health that genuinely feel like they get to a nihilistic state where they just feel like the world is over, nothing is worth saving, I'm just gonna do what I do and blah blah blah. But it gets to a point where it's just like, if everybody's like that, who's gonna save the world? You're gonna save it. right?
Right.
Take this as a charge. Take this as a enlistment. I want you to do some research. I want you to figure out what public health job you feel aligns with you the most. I want you to figure out the salary for it. I want you to figure out the educational requirements for it, even the experience required for it. I want you to have a goal, create one, have it, reach for it, and achieve it. And it might sound cheesy, but if I can do it, a little black girl from Detroit can do it because somebody just gave me a little inkling of hope, a little inkling of you can do it, encouragement. This is me doing that to you. Don't ever say I ain't doing nothing for you, all right? Come back to me whenever you got it together, all right? I love you. Bye.